the Son of God mentioned then in the scriptures of the Old Testament that comes from the New Testament, the Son of God.
Yeah.
What happens when your Jewish brethren read this? What happens? Do you meet those that are your relatives, are your friends, are other rabbis? How do they explain this? Are there those who God opened up by His Spirit and they said, "Oh,
there are.
I see the light."
Yeah.
And others say,
Yeah.
"I don't understand this."
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, every Jewish person that you meet who believes in Jesus, which, by the way, was not happening years ago, this is another sign of the end, had to come to that point where first they heard it, and even when I heard, I don't want to hear that. That's not Jewish. I don't believe in that stuff. The Jewish people are raised to say whatever you can believe. You can believe in New Age. You can believe in Eastern meditation. You can be an atheist and be a good Jew. But the one thing you can never do is believe in the Rabbi, Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. That's the one thing. And I thought, wow, he must be very powerful, this one. because if you could believe in Buddha, and you could believe in all that and be a Jew, but he's got the power to make you not a Jew. He must be the Messiah.
Right.
Because he's that powerful.
It's good.
But of course, he doesn't make you a Jew or not a Jew. He makes those who are not Jewish. That's what it says. You are not Jewish. You come in. So we're told you can never believe in the Son of God. You can never believe in a triune nature, Father, Son, and Spirit. Even though the very beginning of the Bible, the word Elohim itself is plural. The word for God, the very first word noun in the Bible, is plural. It means God, but more than one. It's what it means. One and more than. And actually, there's we didn't get into this now, but there's rabbinic writings, hidden kind of writings, that actually say God is 3 in 1. Actually say God is 3 in 1. You'll never hear that, but it's there. But when they look at, like Isaiah, we say, well, look at Isaiah 53. Look at this. I mean, you want to see the gospel? It's right there in Isaiah 53. And they'll say, well, the rabbis will say, it's not talking about Messiah. That's about Israel, Jewish people suffering. Well, the Jewish people have suffered, and they have been joined to Messiah in their sufferings. But you cannot say that is Israel, because it says he was wounded for our people. So how can Israel die for Israel? I mean, it makes no sense. So clearly, and if you read the ancient writings of the rabbis, when they speak about Isaiah 53, they say that is clearly talking about Messiah. In fact, they came up with 2 messiahs, which shows you how much. They said, there's one, we can't put it together. We don't know how to put it together, so we're going to come up with 2 messiahs. One messiah is called Mashiach ben David. He's going to reign forever. He's going to rule on David's throne, victorious. That's the one we want. But then there's another messiah called Mashiach ben Yosef, Messiah, son of Joseph. He's the one who will suffer for our sins. He's Isaiah 53. We don't understand that one, but it says he's coming. It says he's going to die for our sins. So from ancient times, it's in the rabbinic writings that Messiah is going to die for our sins, but then they kind of covered that away, but it's all there. So, it's how open you are, like with anything else, how open you are, and those who are open. I know people who were synagogue leaders, and they were reading Isaiah 53, and they said, oh my God, that's Jesus, and they became believers. They lead Messianic congregations now. Well, that's true. I know there was a rabbi from Eastern Europe, and he read about Daniel saying Messiah is going to come and be cut off, and then the temple's going to be destroyed. So, well, wait a minute. The temple was destroyed. That means Messiah had already have come. We can't keep waiting. He came, and he had to have been killed. There's only one. It's Jesus. He came. This rabbi came to believe. I believe he was an Orthodox rabbi. Came to believe. Started a mission to his people, the Jewish people. From that came chosen people, American Board of Mission Jews. From that came Jews for Jesus. From a rabbi who opened up, who believed to Daniel 9.
And this is one of the important prophecies being fulfilled about Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And the end times.
Yeah.
And I mean, every time, over these years, you're just sitting here, I always feel like I'm living in a prophetic moment, because this man is a Jewish rabbi who believes that Jesus Christ is the Messiah.
Right.
And it's not just you believing, but thousands of Jewish people have come to know the Messiah.
That's right. people look at Israel, which we have to, and that the sign of Israel coming back is crucial. But what people miss, just as crucial, is the coming of the Jewish people back to their Messiah, because it's ultimately all about that in the end. And the thing is that, so just as crucial, at the same moment, now here, as the Jewish people started to return to the land of Israel, Jewish people started returning to their Messiah. It happened together, happened at the same time. In fact, there are prophecies that say when the Jewish people, God says, when you start returning to me, I'm going to restore you to the land. And so actually, in some ways, Jewish people started returning to the Messiah in the 19th century. And as they did, God started bringing the Jewish people back to Israel. And there's been a link from that day on. There's been a link. So it's a crucial prophetic key. Jesus said, I won't return again until my people say, blessed is he. Now, they have to say it in Israel. They have to say it in Jerusalem. So they have to come back. But what it's telling you is the most important, crucial thing is the Jewish people returning to him. And so when you see Jewish people coming back to Messiah, it is a sign the time of his coming is near.
Yes.
It is a sign that was when the Middle Ages, you didn't see it. You didn't see it in the 1600s. You didn't see it in the 70s. Maybe 1, 2, 3. You didn't see it.
Right.
But you are seeing it now. More Jewish people are coming than any other time since the book of Acts. That is a sure sign that he's coming again.
Amen.
Well,
Amen.